Right now at 6, Carl Junction Mayor's comments about the female city employees leads to impeachment charges.
And we've got scattered showers and thunderstorms increasing as we head into the afternoon. Look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, a Kansas City, Kansas police officer with ties to Southeast Kansas dies in the line of duty.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It's Wednesday, August the 27th, halfway through the last week of August. And
yes.
Next week is September, and it's really not felt like August here lately. It's felt a lot more like late September. So
nice.
That's been a pretty good start to the week here, and pretty below average temperatures, and that will continue at least for the next couple of days. We're going to start though with our live look outside downtown Pittsburgh, where again we are already starting to look at mostly cloudy skies. I know it's still dark, but I assure you we are looking at mostly cloudy skies this morning, and that will be the case through the majority of the morning ahead of our increasing rain chances. Folks getting their day underway. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin looking good otherwise, and dry for the time being. However, by noon, initially, most of us are dry, just cloudy. But our far western counties start to see some of those isolated showers rolling in, and it doesn't take long. By about 2-3 o'clock, showers, thunderstorms scattered across the area start to build in for everybody, so we'll all just about be getting in on some kind of rain chances. Now, at this initial batch here, through the afternoon into the evening hours, it's not rain everywhere all at once, but we will have scattered showers and storms, and some of those could produce some heavy rain, but no severe weather is expected. And that's the biggest emphasis here, is there's no severe weather expected, but some of the storms, especially into Thursday, the heavy rain they could produce could lead to some localized flash flooding concerns. So do keep that in mind as well. We're sitting at 58 in Joplin, 55 in Pittsburgh, and around the region, we have some pretty cool temperatures. Not quite as cool as what we saw yesterday. Yesterday morning, Stockton dropped down to 47 degrees. 47 degrees in August. Again, not that cool this morning, but not bad either. Low, mid, upper 50s to right about 60 for some of us as we get this Wednesday started. So kids getting on the bus, everybody's going to be dry and just cloudy, upper 50s, but make sure you send them with that umbrella because they will certainly want it by the time the bus brings them home as we all start to get in on some rain chances. Mid 70s by noon, mostly cloudy again for most of us. Our far western counties getting in on some showers. We'll have those scattered storms, upper 70s when the bus brings them back home or if they start walking home. We'll go mid 60s by 9, mid 70s by noon, upper 70s for our highs today. And again, some of the storms later this evening could produce some heavy rain out there. We'll be back into the upper 60s, near 70 by 6. And it's overnight tonight into the first half of our Thursday where we have greater concerns with some heavy rainfall with these thunderstorms. We'll break down the timing details on that and how much rain we may be looking at here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. So last night, an hours-long impeachment hearing recessed, still with no decision on the future of Carl Junction Mayor Mike Moss is embroiled in controversy following allegations of harassment in the workplace. The hearing, which began around 6 yesterday evening, wrapped up for the night. KOAM Samantha Walker was there and has the details.
A packed room at the Carthage Community Center as community members come to learn the future of their city's government. The impeachment hearing featured legal representation for the city and Mayor Mike Moss, with City Council listening to arguments from both parties. Moss is at the center of controversy after allegations of workplace harassment. These allegations come from reported comments referring to female city employees as Steve's harem, a reference to City Administrator Steve Lauber.
Making these comments to someone else, how can I think that he could be my supervisor fairly?
An investigation into these allegations included employee interviews who claim Moss's behavior caused significant personal distress, strained relationships, and impacted their work.
To have everything I have done for the last nearly 20 years reduced to nothing more than his opinion of how I may have gotten my position was humiliating.
In July, following the investigation, City Council members voted to bring 4 articles of impeachment against Moss.
The articles of impeachment say he's shown, quote, a conscious disregard for the proper order and discipline of the city, its code, and state laws as they pertain to the conduct of government. It goes on to say that Moss is not suited for public office.
It's demeaning to those individuals, and it's contrary to the protections granted to all city employees under your code. Violations of your code of ethics like this erode confidence in the government and do affect how your government is run.
At his impeachment hearing, Moss's legal team say he may have made these comments like Steve's harem, and that it may have been in bad taste. But his team argued the comments have been taken out of context and blown up on social media. They go on to say the allegations made against Moss are not about sexual harassment.
What this is about is voter nullification. Certain people don't like the fact that Mike's in office. They feel that his interests or his direction was different than the city administrators. They want him out of office.
Reporting in Carl Junction, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The hearing is now scheduled to resume tomorrow at 6 p.m. You can visit the KOAM website for more details on the hearing. And a tractor trailer hauling an empty grain bin crashes into a railroad overpass on eastbound Highway 166 and 169 in Coffeyville yesterday morning. The impact damaged the overpass structure and traffic is being rerouted to 8th and Patterson. The impact knocked the truss off its mounts and crews will need to reposition it on the bridge and complete required safety protocols. Estimated repair time is about 1 week. The crash forces drivers to use alternate routes while crews work to repair the damaged overpass. The detour will remain in place during the week-long repair process. And a Kansas City, Kansas police officer with ties to this area has died in the line of duty, and now a suspect is in custody accused of intentionally hitting him with a truck. The fallen officer is 26-year-old Hunter Simoncic. He is a graduate of Pittsburg State University from Galesburg, Kansas. Simoncic had formerly worked at the Southeast Kansas Regional Juvenile Detention Center in Girard. He'd been with the KCK Police Department for nearly 2 years. Investigators say a chase began after KCK police responded to a call of shots fired early yesterday morning. Police approached a suspect in a truck who then drove away. Authorities say as Simoncic deployed stop sticks, the driver drove toward the officer and struck him, then continued fleeing. Simoncic was pronounced dead at a hospital. The suspect is 31-year-old Dennis Mitchell III of Kansas City, Kansas. Now, he eventually crashed and officers arrested him on suspicion of a number of crimes, including first-degree murder. Well, a four-leg Steeler is keeping Pittsburgh International Airport safe in Pennsylvania and turning heads while doing it. The TSA bomb-sniffing dog named Steeler just won the agency's cutest canine contest, beating out competition across the eastern U.S., trained to detect explosives on moving passengers. Now, this Super Bowl Sunday pup, isn't just talented. He's a fan favorite in black and gold. And Naomi Osaka advanced to the second round of the U.S. Open with a straight set win over Greet Midden yesterday. Osaka took the match 6-3, 6-4 in her first Grand Slam appearance since returning from maternity leave. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. President Trump takes on crime, the Federal Reserve, and FEMA all in one day. Plus, the American College of Cardiology releases new vaccine recommendations for adults. And potential rain chances. Chris takes another look at your Wednesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now 6:08. We'll be right back. But first, here's a live look ahead of the Route 66 Balloon Festival. Topping Nation Watch, nearly 24 FEMA employees are on administrative leave this morning after those workers raised concerns to Congress that the Trump administration cuts had reversed post-Hurricane Katrina progress. The White House is defending the downsizing. Meanwhile, President Trump says he has a new focus on a new plan to tackle crime. CBS's Jared Hill has the latest from New York.
This is 12 days. We haven't even started. This is going to be so safe.
After touting his takeover of D.C. police, overnight President Donald Trump continued his focus on crime, posting on social media that he's working with Republican congressional leaders on a comprehensive crime bill, and floating the notion of sending National Guard troops to other American cities, like New York and Chicago. Illinois' Democratic governor.
No one wants them to come, that crime is down, murders in particular down.
This comes as the president could find himself in a legal battle over the Federal Reserve after he said he fired Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook.
We need people that are 100% above board, and it doesn't seem like she was.
In a letter Monday, Trump wrote there was sufficient cause to believe Cook made false statements on one or more mortgage agreements. Cook fired back, saying the president had no authority to remove her from the independent Federal Reserve Board, and she's planning to take legal action. The back and forth comes amid President Trump's ongoing push to get the Fed to cut interest rates.
We're very strong, and we should be lowering the rates.
Something Chair Jerome Powell has signaled could happen at their September meeting. Meanwhile, CBS News has confirmed over a dozen FEMA employees have been put on leave after raising concerns that Trump administration cuts to the Federal Emergency Management Agency could hurt response in the middle of hurricane season. Jared Hill, CBS News.
FEMA's acting press secretary said in a statement they are committed to ensuring FEMA delivers for the American people, calling those who raised concerns bureaucrats who presided over decades of inefficiency. Well, still to come, the MTV Music Video Awards announce more big-name performers ahead of next month's show. Plus, we're tracking rain chances for today. Chris has another look at today's forecast. We'll be right back. Good morning. I'm Elise Snowy with your KOAM News update. Carl Junction Mayor Mike Moss is at the center of controversy after allegations of workplace harassment. An investigation into the allegations identified many potential violations of city code, leading city council to bring 4 articles of impeachment against Moss. A continuation of the hearing is set for this Thursday. Well, big changes are on the horizon for Fort Scott very soon. The city will welcome a brand new medical facility, complete with a state-of-the-art emergency department. But that's not all. City leaders say they hope to secure funding to build 10 to 20 new homes, a move aimed at attracting more talent and boosting local business. They say it's one thing the community has been eagerly waiting for.
And our rain and thunderstorm chances increasing heading into the afternoon. By noon, some of our western counties getting in on some showers eventually. More scattered showers and storms across the area. Highs today, upper 70s. Some of the storms later this evening could produce some heavy rain. And then overnight, after midnight, more thunderstorms across the region. And some of those, especially in the southern half of our region, could produce very heavy rain, which could lead to the potential for some localized flash flooding in the first half of our Thursday. So keep that in mind. Storms continue through about 2 o'clock tomorrow and into the low 70s.
Keira Knightley investigates something suspicious in an upcoming murder mystery, and we're getting a better look at the lineup for next month's MTV Video Music Awards. CBS's Jared Hill has the details in today's Eye on Entertainment.
Someone's gone overboard. What did you see?
Keira Knightley is unraveling a murder mystery in the new Netflix drama, The Woman in Cabin 10.
Laura here's going to be spying on us.
The world awaits with bated breath.
Knightley plays a journalist on a luxury cruise for a travel assignment when she witnesses a possible murder. She's later told the murder didn't happen and that all the passengers and crew were accounted for. The film is an adaptation of the 2016 novel by Ruth Ware. The Woman in Cabin 10 hits Netflix October 10th. K-pop Demon Hunters is the first movie soundtrack in over 45 years to have 3 songs in the top 5 of the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The last film to hit that milestone was Saturday Night Fever. K-pop Demon Hunters is an animated Netflix movie musical that follows a girl group that doesn't just sell out stadiums, they moonlight as demon hunters, protecting their fans and the world from an evil threat. The MTV Video Music Awards are right around the corner, and we've got a look at some of the stars set to take the stage. Conan Gray, Doja Cat, Jelly Roll, Post Malone, and Tate McRae are among the latest confirmed to perform. Nominations for this year's social categories, Best Group and Song of the Summer, will be revealed on August 29th. The MTV Video Music Awards air September 7th on MTV and CBS. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Well, a lot of talented artists there. I'm sure it'll be a great night. Let's take it over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got another absolutely gorgeous sunrise this morning ahead of increasing shower and thunderstorm chances by this afternoon. We'll break down the details and how much rain we could see in your full forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now is 6:19. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. 6:21 on this Wednesday morning. All right, so let's start with the future track. By noon, we'll have some isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder too, just building into our far western counties. So it means at least the first half of today, most of us are dry, but you'll still want to take that umbrella with you when you head out the door this morning or hand it off to the kids getting on the bus, because by the time you start heading home later today, showers and thunderstorms will be spreading over across more of the area. Now, they'll still be scattered, so it's one of those things, it's not rain everywhere all at once, but by 3, most of southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma, pushing into southwest Missouri, start seeing a few more of these scattered showers and storms. That'll continue through the evening. By 5, you can see where we've got these continuing with the rain chances out there. So again, the evening commute home from work or whatever the case may be, maybe you're heading out to get fast food, make sure you have an umbrella or maybe use the drive-thru, whatever the case may be. So once we get past 5, we could get some isolated to scattered storms that'll have some heavy rain with them, isolated storms with heavy rain, but then it's tomorrow morning, and really by tomorrow morning I mean like starting at midnight tonight into very early Thursday, we see additional development of new thunderstorms. Now, we're still not expecting any severe weather with this activity over the next couple of days, so tonight and tomorrow, but heavy rain. These reds, these yellows and oranges, this is where the heavier rain is expected. And when we show you the rain track here, you're going to see that it is now lining up almost right along with this same batch. So this is 2 o'clock Thursday morning. Showers, thunderstorms, heavy rain, nothing severe, but very heavy rainfall possible. And take a look at some of those even darker reds. I mean, we're getting up to this point on the scale with the rain gauge up here in terms of heavy precipitation. So we're talking very heavy rainfall. This is now 5 a.m. We're waking up. We're getting the kids ready for school, get on the bus, we're heading out the door, go to work, go to the store, whatever the case may be. And especially in this zone, if you know the route you take is prone to flooding or flash flooding, you want to make sure 2 things. 1, you're leaving early, because 2, you're going to want to make sure you've got an alternate route plan just in case you come up on an area that's got road or water over the roadway. Turn around, don't drown. You don't want to chance it. You don't want to leave late tomorrow and then you try and force your way through because you don't have time for an alternate route. Make sure you've got that planned out tonight before you start your Thursday morning commute. Showers, thunderstorms continue across a good portion of the area through the first half of our Thursday, and again, some of these could produce some very heavy rainfall. By noon, we're starting to see them tapered off just a bit, and as we get to about 2 o'clock, most of it's gone. When they start to wind down, they should wind down pretty quickly through the mid-afternoon to early evening hours. That'll leave us mostly cloudy for the rest of our Thursday and into our Friday as well, and thanks to the rain cloud cover, we'll be a little cooler tomorrow as well. So this is what I'm talking about. See where these reds are? We get in that 2 to 4 inch range here on the rain tracker, and it's jiving right with where those heavier showers and storms are expected overnight tonight into tomorrow. So just really, we need the rain, absolutely, but this could be a lot of rain in a short order, and some of this rain may fall very quickly with the heavier thunderstorms. So just, again, keep that in mind. Be aware, mainly for that possibility of flash flooding. Our sunrise this morning, though, ahead of those storms, looks beautiful. That's great coloring out there. Some clouds. Again, we're already going to start going mostly cloudy early. It'll be low 60s by 8, mid 70s by 11 o'clock this morning. Isolated showers out west initially, and then we'll see scattered showers and storms through the afternoon. Our highs today, once again, below normal. Again, also, not that that's necessarily bad. We'll be into the upper 70s out there. Into the evening, showers, thunderstorms, some heavy rain possible with some of those storms, and that heavy rain chance begins to really pick up, especially in our southern counties. Overnight, more storms back down 60. Shower storms tomorrow keep us cool, low 70s for our highs. Friday, a little warmer, but still looking at mostly cloudy skies. We go beyond that into the holiday weekend. Those rain chances we showed you yesterday were down to 10%, and now they're gone. So does it mean we couldn't get an isolated sprinkle? Yeah, we might, but holiday weekend looking pretty good. We're also getting closer to normal, heating back up, upper 80s and low 90s, before we cool back down again by next Thursday and Friday. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send things over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, new births are declining in the U.S. while death rates are rising. New data from the CDC shows from 2010 to 2023, the number of births dropped 10%. The data also showed deaths rose 25% during that same period, but those rates were greatly impacted by the COVID pandemic. The aging U.S. population is also contributing to the rising death rates. The American College of Cardiology has new guidance on which vaccines adults should be taking. The group says all adults should get an annual flu shot. Adults with heart disease should get a one-time pneumococcal vaccine and the seasonal COVID-19 vaccine. The RSV vaccine is also recommended for adults 75 or older or for people 50 and older with heart disease. Adults 50 and older should get the shingles vaccine. And surprising findings about weight and the risk of surgery. A UCLA study found older adults who are overweight have a lower risk of death after a major surgery compared to people at a normal weight. Researchers say adults over 65 have different physiologies, and it's possible the excess weight may actually be helpful as they recover from surgery. That's a look at Health Watch this morning. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, the Girard School District celebrates the start of the year with the Campus Festival.
And take a look at that sunrise this morning from 7th and Rangeline. Beautiful colors, a beautiful start to the day ahead of increasing rain chances. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, the Jasper Newton 100 Women Who Care chapter awards thousands of dollars to a local nutrition program.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:30. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Wednesday, August the 27th, halfway again through the week, the last week of August.
Yes.
And it hasn't felt like August at all.
No, it hasn't.
That's been
nice.
Pretty nice. And in the words of the late, great Billy Mays, look at this. It's our 7th and Rangeline camera. Take a look at that. Is that not just absolutely gorgeous? Man, we've had just some incredible sunrises over the past few months. I mean, and that's not to say we haven't had any outside of that. I'm just saying here lately, we have just been treated to some amazingly beautiful colors out there, some great starts to the day. Just a fantastic thing. You know, you got to get a snapshot of that almost and put it as your desktop wallpaper. You could almost, if we took that banner off, you could almost take this and turn it into a photo, like something you can hang onto your wall at the house. Same from our downtown Pittsburgh camera. Look at that. These oranges out there. It is just gorgeous. It makes me, again, we should just take the weather outside. I think we should do that one day because on days like this, it is incredible. Murdoch camera 28th and Rangeline. Again, we don't control it. It's pointed back north, but you can still see some of those purplish colors out there that back in the northern sky as the sun rises this morning. So again, it's a wonderful start to what's going to be a pretty soggy day as we head into the afternoon. By noon, still looking at the same data from yesterday, and I don't mean exact same, I just mean when it updated over the last several hours as it updates regularly, it's still pretty close to what we saw yesterday, so no big changes there. By noon, our far western counties starting to see some showers, maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder, but it does not take long for this activity to begin to fill in and move east out there. So we'll have scattered showers and storms really across a good portion of the area. Kansas, Oklahoma, scattered shower storms by about 2, 3 o'clock. By 4, you can see it's starting to cross into the Missouri side, and that will continue out there. So make sure you are prepared for, again, maybe some storms with some heavier rain later this evening. The greatest concern for heavy rain is going to be heading into tomorrow, which we'll discuss a little later. We're at 58 in Joplin right now, 55 in Pittsburgh. You see why now you can kind of get that contrasting color. You see that purple in the sky up there from 20th and Rangeline. Temperatures this morning, again, below normal across the region. Stockton yesterday, you dropped down to 47 degrees. Not quite that cool this morning. We got Fort Scott, though, sitting at 50. Warm spot right now looks to be Newata at 61, and otherwise we're in a mix of the 50s across the area. So kids heading out the door, again, all of us will be dry this morning. We're going to go into the upper 50s, but make sure they've got an umbrella or some way to stay dry because by the time they're walking home, heading to the bus, whatever the case may be, it'll be raining. Showers Western counties by the lunch hour, otherwise mostly cloudy, mid-70s, upper 70s on the drive home, or on the bus ride home rather, and into the upper 70s. Mid-60s by 9, mid-70s by noon, upper 70s by 3, upper 60s by 6, and again, increasing shower and thunderstorm chances. Some of those could produce some heavy rain this evening. The greatest concern for heavy rain starts building in after about 11 o'clock midnight tonight, and there are concerns for some flash flooding as well in some spots. We'll go over those details with you. Take a look at those potential rainfall totals here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, it's been 2 weeks since classes started in the Girard School District, but last night the RV Hatterlene Elementary students, parents, and teachers got a special treat. Games, face painting, bounce houses, and food vendors, all at a back-to-school bash held on the elementary campus. The bash lasted 2 hours and was sponsored by the RV Hatterlene Elementary PTO.
It's nice to see the teachers, the principals are out here, just people from the community that want to support our school. So it's nice to see everybody just come together and be together as a whole. We have a great group of people that have came together to put this on. We have a great board this year. A lot of the teachers are getting involved, and it's just been a great support system.
Girard started school back on August 14th. Little Balkans celebrates its 40th anniversary this year, and to shake things up, the event has added a scavenger hunt. KOAM's Ty Parks joins in the hunt in this story.
History is all around us, and this year Little Balkans brings it to life with a scavenger hunt.
There's some topics about Crawford County and when it was created, who was one of the founders of Pittsburgh, because that's a multiple option answer. Obviously there was more than one founder. There's Pitt State trivia, there's Arma trivia, Girard trivia, Frontenac trivia, and we even have a question about Cherokee.
40 questions in all, ranging from landmarks that are still around to little pieces of businesses that survive the test of time. Angela Myers says this is a way to bring families together.
So I think part of it is it's a family experience, right? I was born and raised in Crawford County, so Dad could definitely know the answers from Girard. I had lots of little aunts, and my grandparents lived in Pittsburgh, so I grew up hearing a lot of that random trivia that at the time you hear it, you don't appreciate it, you don't take it in. But now as an adult, I go, oh, I remember.
Little Balkans has a deep history in the area.
So that was at times considered a derogatory term. But originally we were called Little Balkans because coal mining companies would advertise in the Eastern European bloc to get miners to come here. So we have a lot of Slovenian immigrants, a lot of immigrants from Yugoslavia, some Italians, some Germans. It became this melting pot.
Once the questions are filled out.
Okay, so here's what you're going to do. Get online to our Facebook page or our website, print it off. This is old school, so you can get it digitally, but you have to submit it in paper form. Anywhere you can buy a passport, so my law office, the chamber, Toast, Ron's supermarket, and the Memorial Auditorium will have a blue box, and you can turn your passport in there. You can turn your scavenger hunt in there. Just fold it up, cram it in the box. There's a slot.
Happy hunting. In Pittsburgh, Ty Parks, KOAM News.
Well, this evening, the Little Balkans Festival will host its inaugural Pasta School. The class will feature 2 hands-on segments where attendees will be able to experience hands-on learning about pasta preparation. Well, the Jasper Newton 100 Women Who Care chapter were on hand yesterday at King Jack Park to award $4,825 to the Webb City Farmers Market WIC program. The program provides $10 off at the market. The donation also helps vendors and farmers who participate in the market. Well, the city of Fort Scott has some big changes on the horizon, including a brand new medical facility with the state-of-the-art emergency department. As KOAM's Lonnie Walton reports, the city also has new homes on the way, a move aimed at attracting more talent and boosting local business.
We are really excited. We've been waiting for this for like 5 or 6 years.
John Tucker has been a resident of Fort Scott for 18 years. He says he's excited about the brand new emergency department built by Freeman Health.
Need an ER really bad, and especially the hospital. But the ER for me is most important.
And he's not the only one excited. Lisa Dillon, the housing coordinator for the city, says with this new medical facility, new homes are needed too.
We're hoping to add anywhere between 10 to maybe 20 homes with that opportunity.
Hey, that's wonderful. We need housing. That's a big need in this town.
Dillon says these homes will be funded by the Moderate Income Grant and Kansas City Housing Investor Tax Credit. She says through the funding, many people will receive help.
We're also looking at being able to offer down payment assistance.
City Manager Brad Mackin says this will take Fort Scott to the next level.
We have a new hospital coming in, plus we've got a couple of our empty buildings that may be getting filled with businesses soon. That's going to drive more people into our town, hopefully.
36% of our housing is actually in 1940s and older.
Duggar says he can't wait for the changes.
We're happy to help anybody that is going to come and build a house.
Reporting in Fort Scott, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
The city of Fort Scott says they hope to secure the funding by next year. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The Powerball jackpot climbs to one of the biggest prizes in the game's history. Plus, Cracker Barrel scraps its new logo after days of public backlash and returns to its classic design. We'll take a look. Time now, 6:39. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. But first, here's a live look ahead of the Route 66 Balloon Festival. In Consumer Watch, the Federal Aviation Administration says it's getting ready for record numbers of Labor Day travelers at the nation's airports. The agency says more than 48,000 flights will take to the skies today. The FAA predicts tomorrow and Friday will be the busiest days of the long holiday travel week. Last year, the TSA screened more than 17 million passengers to break the previous record. And tonight brings another shot at winning the big Powerball drawing. The jackpot has grown to an estimated $815 million with the cash option of over $360 million. That's the 7th largest prize in Powerball's history. And after several days of public backlash, Cracker Barrel announced it's scrapping its new logo and returning to the old-timer one. In a social media post, the restaurant thanked their customers for their feedback, adding, "We said we would listen, and we have." Earlier this week, President Trump was among those criticizing the redesign. And last night, the president congratulated Cracker Barrel for going back to its old logo, writing, quote, "Make your customers happy again." And that's a look at Consumer Watch this morning. Let's take it over now to Chris for another quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, just another nice view of that sunrise from downtown Pittsburgh this morning. We do have rain chances increasing into the afternoon. We'll talk about that and celebrate birthdays and anniversaries when we come back. Time now is 6:43. It is time now for some Wednesday birthdays, and we are going to start in Liberal with Addie Meadows, celebrating birthday number 15. Says, "We love you," from Mima, Papa Gary, and Grandma Leanne.
And making our way over to Thayer, also celebrating their 15th birthday. Happy birthday to Drew Johnson.
And in Carthage, Jessica Honschel celebrating birthday number 38 today. Happy birthday.
And a happy 44th birthday to Brett Dunbar. Great throwback photo there. Happy birthday, Brett.
It may not be a throwback. Maybe Brett just ages really well.
Know.
That's a possibility. You never know. Happy birthday. We also have Jeannie Johnson in Pittsburgh celebrating birthday number 68 today. Happy birthday.
And continuing our list, last but not least, happy 88th birthday to Bob Robinson in Baxter Springs.
All right, another great but short list of birthdays and anniversaries, and that's all right. We can always make tomorrow's bigger, and you can help out, and Elise knows how you can do that.
Yes, please submit your birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. Be sure to meet the deadline at the bottom of your screen, and also please include the date of your celebration when submitting as well.
All right, great information there, and we've got rain chances increasing as we head into the afternoon. So, not a lot has changed from the data from yesterday. We're still on track on the timing, the placement, the rain, all of it's still pretty on par for what we showed you yesterday, but this is just going to give you that breakdown as we head to about the lunch hour. Isolated showers, couple of rumbles of thunder possible in our very far western counties. So Greenwood, Elk, Chautauqua, Washington County. Most of us are going to spend the good portion of the first half of this day dry, but cloudy. But you still want to grab the umbrella before you head out, because by the time we get about 2, 3 o'clock, scattered showers, thunderstorms begin pushing further east across the area. So really right up along Kansas-Missouri border, and back down into northeastern Oklahoma. These will be scattered, so it's not rain everywhere all at once with this, but we will have showers and thunderstorms continuing to spread east through the evening. By 5, rain's making its way onto the Missouri side now. We've got still some scattered showers, a few rumbles of thunder back behind this, and as we go later into the evening after 5, could get some brief moments with some storms with some heavier rainfall, but it's going to be overnight tonight that the rain really ramps up. Now again, an emphasis here, because I know traditionally when we show thunderstorms, especially with the severe weather season we had earlier this year, these reds and oranges mean nasty storms. That's not the case this time. No severe weather is expected with this activity, but these reds and oranges are now simply telling us it's heavy rain. And this starts as early as midnight. We're stopping here at 2 a.m. And when we show you the rain totals, the forecasted rain totals, you will see that it will line up with heavier rain right where we're seeing it here on the future track. So that's what I mean. Everything's kind of coming together now, starting to jive a little better on timing and placement. So showers, thunderstorms, heavy rain. You can see even these darker reds, which puts us about here on the rain intensity on the little legend up here. We're talking some very heavy rainfall. And that could lead to localized flash flooding. So that goes back to what we've been stressing all morning long. If you know your regular route takes you through an area that is prone to flash flooding tomorrow morning for your commute, whether it's to work, school, grocery store, heading into town, whatever the case may be, you want to do 2 things. 1, be prepared to leave a little earlier, and 2, make sure you have a backup route. That's why you want to leave a little earlier. You might start taking your route and run into a place where you've got water over the roadway. Don't chance it. Turn around. Don't drown. That's why you leave early, so you've got time to maybe backtrack and circle around and find an alternate route. You do not want to be running late and try and push yourself through those floodwaters. We cannot emphasize that enough on turn around, don't drown. Don't chance it, okay? Make sure you've got time to get where you're going. Now, is it going to be a widespread flood concern all over the place? No. But with some of these thunderstorms, they could dump a lot of rain in a short amount of time. That's what flash flooding is. As soon as it's there, then it clears up. You may not be able to get through that route for your morning commute, but it may be fine by the afternoon commute. So that's why, again, just make sure you're prepared for that. Showers, thunderstorms continuing through the first half of our Thursday. Again, some heavy rain still possible with these, and other locations could get heavy rain too. But the greatest concern for more rain is going to be in this zone right through here and southwest. So almost cutting the area in half from here to here, and then points southwest are expected to see some of the heavier rain. Now here's the thing though, by the time we hit noon, shower and thunderstorms begin wrapping up pretty quickly. Look at how fast they roll out. By 5, we're left with maybe a sprinkle or 2, and that's going to be it. We're otherwise going to be mostly cloudy for the rest of our Thursday night, and into our Friday. Thanks to the rain and all that too, it also keeps us a bit cooler for our Thursday as well. So for the rain totals, see what I was talking about, these higher rain amounts are lining up almost perfectly with where future track showed some of the longer track, heavier rain producing thunderstorms. So 2 to 4 inches in some of these zones. We're talking Ottawa County, parts of Newton, McDonald County, Barry County, Benton County, areas that are somewhat prone to flash flooding concerns already are going to be in the path for some of the heavier rain tomorrow. So just again, make sure that you are prepared for that. As for this morning, our sunrise still looking great, and we've got those clouds out there. We're going to go mostly cloudy through the morning, low 60s to start, mid 70s by 11 a.m. We're going to have another look at your forecast and your wake up recap in just a moment. And when we transition to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., or if of course you just hang out with us on KOAM Plus, the upcoming Apple launch and what possible new devices we can expect to see. We'll have all of that at 7 a.m. on Fox 14.
Well, this is your Wake Up Recap for August 27th. The top stories to start your day. Carl Junction Mayor Mike Moss is at the center of controversy after allegations of workplace harassment. An investigation into the allegations identified many potential violations of city code, leading City Council to bring 4 articles of impeachment against Moss. A continuation of the hearing is set for tomorrow. A Kansas City, Kansas police officer with ties to this area has died in the line of duty, and now a suspect is in custody, accused of intentionally hitting him with a truck. The fallen officer is 26-year-old Hunter Simoncic. He's a graduate of Pittsburgh State University from Galesburg, Kansas. He'd been with the KCK Police Department for nearly 2 years. Big changes are on the horizon for Fort Scott. Very soon, the city will welcome a brand new medical facility complete with the state-of-the-art emergency department. But that's not all. City leaders say they hope to secure funding to build 10 to 20 new homes, a move aimed at attracting more talent and boosting local business. They say it's one thing the community has been eagerly waiting for. And that's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And for our forecast today, we've got, again, isolated showers out west by noon, eventually spreading across the region. Scattered showers and storms, upper 70s today. Thunderstorm chances, again, scattered through the evening. Some could produce some heavy rain, but overnight, that's our biggest concern. We're down to 60. Again, not for severe weather, but for thunderstorms producing very heavy rainfall and that potential for localized flash flooding for the first half of our Thursday. So make sure you are prepared for that. Low 70s tomorrow, thanks to the rain clouds. Those should wrap up by 2, 3 o'clock at the latest, and we've got a pretty decent Labor Day weekend ahead of us. Temperatures a bit warmer, closer to normal, so it will feel a little hotter compared to where we have been the last few days.
Right. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making strawberry cheesecake breakfast roll-ups in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Actors Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz talk about their highly anticipated thriller, Caught Stealing, and the chemistry they created on screen.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, we have another Wild Cat Wednesday, so be sure great to learn from them on what they're going to be sharing.
Always a great opportunity to learn, and learning is important. Additionally, the Woodson County Historical Society Museum joining us to talk about their upcoming Yates Center celebration. However, it's going to wrap things up for us for now. We will be back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.